Good morning, Munising. Casey Ford live on AM 1497.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios inside Gallery Coffee Company. And I'm super happy to be here today as today we are going to talk about a couple of different things. And one of them is what actually makes a Youper. We'll get more into that in just a minute. So we're going to get into that. Jason Biega, Food and Beverage Director for the Roam Media family, will join us. We'll talk about some of the things that have happened recently locally. Also, some positive things with a potato chip company that we use here at Gallery Coffee Company. And some of the changes that are taking place at A Burger for the better. And, you know, when food tastes better, everybody's happy. There's a new fry that's that's been rolled out for about a week and a half at A Burger. We'll talk about that in just a little bit after the first commercial break. We'll also talk to Maria Strand, who's a local musician, and we'll talk to her and get her thoughts and the reemergence of the local music scene here in the Elger County area. So once again, super happy to be here today from the Jamadot Studios and Gallery Coffee Company. A couple of programming notes, stuff that Bryce and I are working on. I don't know if people realize it or not, but the first football game is about 3 weeks away from now. Football starts on Monday. We will be having Munising, home of the Mustangs, right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO and at WQXO.com, along with the Superior Central Cougar football team. That will be back on our airwaves. We did 3 of their 5 games last year. We're going to be doing 7 of 9 this year. There's only a conflict of interest in 2 of those games. One of them is October 1st when Superior Central takes on Newberry. The other one is the last game of the year when Superior Central takes on Rapid River. Other than that, it's Munising, it's Superior Central, home of the Mustangs, home of the Cougars, right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Now, I started the show with this. What does it mean to be a Youper? And I would love to read your comments. If you go to our Roam Media Facebook page or you go to our YouTube page, leave a comment. What's it mean to be a Youper? And I preference that by saying this. I have now been in the Upper Peninsula for 14 years. And we got in this debate last week when I was up at Cowell Lake and we were, having a couple of adult beverages and we were talking about this. And one of the guys I was talking to, he goes, "Well, I moved up here in 1989. He goes, I said, "Is that over half your life?" He said, "Yes." I said, "All right, well, according to the definition I received, that makes you a Youper." And his wife said, "Oh, no. You are not a Youper, even though you lived here half your life." Good morning, Liz. Thank you for watching on Facebook Live and on Roam Media on the YouTube channel. So I don't actually not necessarily know what a Youper is, because I don't think the Youpers even know what consists of a Youper unless you were born and raised here in the Upper Peninsula. Now, I was born and raised in Grand Rapids, moved up here in 2007. This month in 2007, I moved up to the Upper Peninsula, had a job interview, and about 6 days from now is when I had my first job interview, and I got hired up here. But I love this area. I got enshrined in this area when the Order Shore was going on when it was in Negaunee. But I don't actually really understand, if you've lived here over half your life or the majority of your life, what makes a Youper. And I go back to the Jeff Blashill conversation that we had a few weeks ago, because head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, technically born in Detroit, but he has spent almost all of his time here in the Upper Peninsula. I think he was only in Detroit for like 3 or 4 weeks, something like that, when he was born, before they moved up to the Sioux. So everybody considers him a Youper, even though he was born in Detroit. I'm born in Grand Rapids. I've now lived here 14 years, made my home in Marquette, made my home in Gwynn, now living in Munising, as we've spent the last 4 years as we've lived up here off of Connors Road. So we've lived up here. My wife is born and raised here. Good morning, David. Thank you for watching in Indianapolis. So I don't know if I'm a Youper. I don't really consider myself anything other than a Youper at this point, because when I go downstate, I don't really consider myself a troll anymore, because so much has changed in that Grand Rapids area, especially where I'm from in Jenison. Like, I go home and I don't even recognize home anymore. So no, Liz, 14 years is not half my life yet. Thank you for pointing out that I'm still a young buck. That's right. I'm still young. I moved up here when I was 25. So about the age of 50, I'll actually live up here half of my life. But the definitions that we get, is it half my life, or is it where you make your home? Like, if you just move here, are you automatically a Youper? If you can say the word pasty, does that make you a Youper, or would you rather have a pasty? Is there a pasty or a pasty? I don't think. I think if it's one of those things that if you can't pronounce that, you're not a Youper. Pasty is more of a downstate thing anyway, unless you're going to McFarland. I will preference this, and maybe Bryce, because we have a private chat that goes on during the show. I want Bryce to give me the exact quote or something very similar to it, because I don't want to get it wrong. And we'll get to that in just a minute as we talk about this. Is this sponsor brought to you in part by Ashley Home Stores in Escanaba in Marquette. The summer closeout sale at Ashley's Furniture Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba ends soon. Get up to 40% off or choose up to 6 years financing. Plus, they have over 200 mattresses in stock from Ashley Sleep, Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest, and Serta. Local family-owned Ashley Home Stores in Marquette and Escanaba. So I was hoping that we were going to have this, or maybe we are going to get this from Angus, but I was hoping for pretty much the exact quote. Here's what I'm told. He was saying that making a good UP-based food item would put him on his way to becoming a Youper. That's from Gordon Ramsay. From when Gordon Ramsay was on with Mr. Mattson. So he said it at least 11 times in the episode. Yes, but I was just trying to get the exact quote. But yes, making a good UP-based food item would put him on his way to becoming a Youper. I don't know. Let's go back to the comments. Let's see here. According to the UP Supply Company, you have to be born here or 10 years. So, okay, I'm here 14 years. Apparently, I'm an honorary Youper. Maybe I'm a trooper. That's a troll and a Youper, because I married a Youper. I'm a troll, so maybe I'm a trooper now because I've lived up here 14 years. My kids are Youpers because they were born at Marquette General Hospital. Or the last one, UPHP or Duke Life Point. I don't really know what the names are up there because they keep changing ever so often with the hospital up there. But yes, so maybe I'm just a trooper now, troll and Youper, because I've lived up here 14 years. And according to Liz, who says this, upsupply.co, you have to be born here or lived here at least 10 years. So Rick Hendrick, I believe you are a Youper no matter what Teresa Coda says. I believe, sir, you are in fact a Youper. And I hope that you are listening out at Cowell Lake. I know you were spending a good portion of time, and you couldn't play Radio Bingo at Cowell Lake because there's no cell phone reception at all. It's just a dead zone, which isn't a bad deal. Let's go this. I know that we have this. Beth Mitchell says, not a trooper, that's a cop, LOL. But it's a troll Youper. You just combine the words. Yeah, I know. I get it. I get it. Thanks for listening, Beth. I appreciate this. Let's have a poll. What makes you a Youper? Let's do that poll. And this is awesome. For people that aren't on YouTube or on Facebook Live, I'll read it to you on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO and at WQXO.com, SoundCloud, and on Spotify. A, birthright only. B, born elsewhere but lived in the Upper Peninsula their whole adult lives. C, born elsewhere but lived more than half their entire life in the UP. D, 25 years UP residency or longer. E, marry a born and raised Youper. Those are your options. Give us your comments below. What makes someone become a Youper? Once again, that is our poll. It's on our Facebook live page at Roam Media, and go to our Roam Media YouTube page, and you can tell us what officially makes you a Youper in your eyes. Okay. We're going to take this time out. When we come back, we're going to have Food and Beverage Director Jason Biega join us. We'll talk to him. He's lived in the Upper Peninsula a couple of times, and we're going to talk about some good things that are happening with the Roam Media family, A Burger, Gallery Coffee Company, and some of the distribution stuff that's taken place this week. We'll also talk to Maria Strand after we talk to Jason. So we'll take this quick time out. You are listening and watching Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO at WQXO.com, on the Roam Media Facebook page, on our YouTube page, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Coming back with Jason Biega right after this.
Alger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at algerctc.org. Alger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Are you looking for an afternoon of family fun? How about a change to your date night routine? Come to Miners Falls Mini Golf to experience the fun for yourself. Explore the waterfalls and rivers while enjoying 18 holes of miniature golf. Find our latest flavors of chocolate shop ice cream by visiting our Facebook page. Open at noon daily. Visit Miners Falls Mini Golf off of M28, 2 miles east of Munising, or call 387-4653.
Hutton's Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Putnam's Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Putnam Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising, with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Putnam's Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
The summer closeout sale ends soon at Ashley Furniture Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. Get up to 40% off or choose up to 6 years financing. Need some friendly help? Get expert design consultation from one of Ashley Home Store's interior designers. And don't forget, Ashley Home Store has hundreds of mattresses in stock. The summer closeout sale ends soon, only at your local, family-owned Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba.
Feels good to be home.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios inside Gallery Coffee Company, where they are open until 2 o'clock daily, Monday through Sunday, or Sunday through Sunday, however you want to say it. But whatever, Gallery Coffee Company open until 2 o'clock daily. You see Jason Biega to my right, Food and Beverage Coordinator for the Roam Media family, and we'll talk to him in just a minute, because he's lived up here a couple of times in the Upper Peninsula, and he brings really great, tasty treats to our area, and that has to do with the Gordon Ramsay comment as well, right. Of what makes a Youper. So we'll get to that. We have some comments that we have to get to. of what makes a Yooper as I start my 14th year up here in the Upper Peninsula. My lovely wife, who I've spent last weekend camping with, and I'm going to take her out again tonight and going to go sleep in a camper somewhere. She says, you need to be able to navigate in the woods in your own backyard without saying, I have no idea where that tree is. Because, Casey Ford, you have seen that tree 90,000 or whatever number that is times, and I'm sick of explaining to you where it is. I'll be honest, I don't know what tree she's talking about right now because you've been to our house. We have a ton of trees. I don't know what tree she's talking about.
Well, you know how, some of the people that we know in our community, they can point out a tree in the middle of the woods.
Right.
So I think maybe that's what makes a Yooper.
Maybe.
You know that tree by heart.
I should know that tree, but I don't know especially what tree she's talking about. Oh, she says any tree, they all have their own personality. True Yoopers don't navigate based on where different drugstores are in relation to M6. That's me. M6 is downstate. It actually cuts off Grand Rapids, and you can go from Jenison to Grand Rapids and take about 30 minutes off your time. So if you're going to a place like Detroit, it only takes 2 hours instead of 2.5 hours. It's actually a pretty big deal in my life. Or just make a right at, that local drugstore in Grand Rapids, and you just go down a quarter mile that way. That's me navigating. You can't really do that here in the Upper Peninsula unless you're going to the Only Light in Munising. When I say, oh, by the way, make a right at the Only Light in Munising, that's
right.
A Burger.
Yeah, you should. When I tell people there's one light in the town that I live in, they always look at me going, huh? What do you mean?
Liz says it sounds like I'll never be a Yooper then. She's probably onto something there. Jason, you've been up here a couple of times.
Yeah.
Second go around here in the Upper Peninsula. In your mind, what makes a Yooper?
I think it's a
bring up the poll. I know you saw it earlier, but bring up the poll.
I can't. You're gonna have to show it to me.
I'll read it
right.
to you. But Director Jason Biega, Food and Beverage Director, birthright only, born elsewhere but lived in the Upper Peninsula their whole lives, born elsewhere but lived more than half their life in the Upper Peninsula, 25 years in the UP residency or longer, marry a born and raised Yooper. What one makes you a Yooper?
I would say more than half your life. That's what I would put on.
Okay, so I would be at the age of 50 before I became a Yooper.
Right.
If I make it that long.
So you got a couple more years.
And that's going to wrap things up with Jason Biega. Thank you for joining. No, just kidding. This portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you by Van Landshoots and Sons. I don't know if you know this or not. I know this. I want you to know this. Shipping is available of the whitefish, whether you're looking to give a present for your parents for their anniversary, or maybe, a Christmas gift, or you live like my dad did this with Coney Island downstate. He knows I love Coney Island. You can get a good Coney dog at A Burger, by the way. He knows I like Coney Island. So when my dad was alive, he actually sent me a shipment from Detroit to my apartment or to my house in Gwynn. And I had Coney dogs at my house in Gwynn, and they do it. They give you the Coney sauce. They give you the mustard, the onions, the dogs. You just got to cook it. You can do that with whitefish at Van Landshoots and Sons, and you can ship it anywhere you want to. So let's just say your parents live in like Denver. They'll ship it to Denver for you. Has to be 20 pounds or more for shipping.
Oh, it's good information.
Just wanted to put that out there for you. Jason, we have some really great things happening at A Burger. I want to start with that, and we'll talk about distribution in just a little bit.
Okay.
But we have food that's on this table. And normally when you bring in food, that means people are going to be eating well. I know Matt Matson was a big fan of coming on the show and wants to come on the show more often when he knows that you're going to be on the show so we can have chicken sandwiches and Mighty Macs and things like that. We have a new fry. And I know Bryce has a camera set up specifically for this. Look at this fry. This is different from the previous fry. Talk about these fries at A Burger that you can now get.
Yeah, so these fries that we're doing now, they're the same size that we were doing before, but now we are actually cutting our own. And by doing that, we're able to give you more fries now than you ever would get before in an order. It's a really cool process to do, and the team's been doing a fantastic job with it right now. So I'm really proud of it.
How vigorous of a fry? I mean, when you're cutting a potato and you're making this fry, how much longer does it take to make a hand cut fry like this?
You gotta rinse the potato obviously on the outside, and then you gotta cut it, and then you gotta rinse it 3 times until the starch is clear and the water is clear. And then from there, you gotta dry them off. Then you blanch them, 300 degrees, about 6-7 minutes till they you press them and they don't snap apart, but it's kind of mashes like a mashed potato. And then from there, you gotta let them rest at least 20-30 minutes. Let them cool down to about 100 degrees room temp or body temperature, excuse me. And then from there we fry them again for 5 minutes at 350.
So, was there anything wrong with the previous fry?
No, not at all.
What's with the change?
No, I'm just trying. I want to do. I'm always looking for improvements in every business that we do, and I saw that we could improve the product that we have there already. So I took the opportunity to do it, and the team's been doing a fantastic job with it. Like I said. Okay.
Different kind of potato? I mean, obviously.
No, these are 100% Idaho potatoes.
Were the other ones?
Yes.
Okay. So they taste different though.
Yeah. Well, the previous ones were frozen.
Okay.
Right. So this is a fresh product now. So you're not, obviously anything that gets frozen, the quality goes down a little bit because the cells get broken down.
Food and beverage director Jason Biega joins us right here. Coffee with Casey from the Jamadot Studios in the Gallery Coffee Company on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. And some of the other things I want to talk about, and I don't know if you can get it on what shot Bryce wants me to have it on, because I can have it on multiple shots. We'll do this one. This is the Great Lakes Potato Chip Company, Traverse City-based company. You can get this when you pair your sandwich, old world sandwiches here at Gallery Coffee Company. We've talked about that in the past as well, but we use a Michigan-based company in the Great Lakes Potato Chip Company and their expansion. How happy are you to be paired with them? And honestly, the Parmesan garlic ones, my favorite chip that they make.
I like the cherry barbecue, honestly, but I think the kettle chip it's really good. I love kettle chips. If there's anything I'm going to buy the Great Lakes chips. So,
and what's that mean to you when they've gotten grants for expanding and they're in the Upper Peninsula and you can taste a good Traverse City chip here in the UP?
We should always be helping the companies that are within Michigan and expand and help our state become better than it already is. So if we're buying products that are, from our state, it's going to help everybody, not only, the customers around us, but the people and the producers.
I'm not going to be bagging, but I do want to make a clarification that what TV6 got wrong the other day when it came to the vendor shortage right now and getting food out to people in our area. They absolutely said there is a food shortage. There's not a food shortage. There is a vendor shortage. I guess for people that, in general terms, what's the difference between that food shortage and the vendor shortage?
It's a logistics is the issue that seems to be plaguing everything right now. It's not that there's a shortage of any one product. It's a shortage of seems to be labor producing products, and everybody's just behind. So everything's just trying to catch up.
Liz says, "Oh, those look super tasty. You can get them at A-Burger. They've been out for a week and a half now."
Yeah.
Okay. They're at A-Burger. Pair your meal with these beautiful fries. Tasty fries at A-Burger.
Let me note, Casey, we're going through nearly 500 pounds of these a day right now.
That's a lot of fries.
Yeah.
I was in there the other day, and I was, what was it? I was number 10. Number 10. Of course, I'm going to make a joke about that.
Right.
So number 10, I'm like, what a 10 is.
You should have been number 1.
Well, there's other people that were ahead of me, Jason. What does it take to be number 1? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a rap song right there.
Whoever was watching and listening, probably now tuning out at this point. But we at A-Burger, I say we use another Michigan-based product at A-Burger. So we did not see the shortage of product that came to our company. Talk about the products that we use at A-Burger.
Well, I'm not going to, shout out the distributor that we use, but, we've had tremendous relationships with who we've been using for all of our portfolio, and they've been doing a great job. And a shout out to them picking up where our other distributors have fallen down and to carry the weight of the rest of the town. So hopefully the other distributor gets back online with everything soon and carries on, because, we need it and we need to.
And it's nothing against the other distributors by any means.
No, whatsoever.
No, and it's just one of those things where right now everyone's kind of in a tough spot
Yep.
And there's a trickle down effect when there aren't enough workers or people that aren't working.
It's the logistic line.
Yes, and like we use well, we've said it in the past, small farms for our bison burger as well.
Right.
So I mean, we've work locally and throughout the state and make sure that there is a nice product for our portfolio.
And it's not just the food industry right now; it's all industries. It's why you were a car salesman.
Yep.
All cars are right now very behind.
Yeah,
it's hard to get a new car.
They keep saying they're catching up.
It has to do with microchips. So
there's a lot. Let's see here. I'll let Bryce put that comment up if he wants to. I'll wait for his cue on that one. Let's see what he's private message. Okay. I will not. Okay. We will not do that one. Okay. That's fine. We have the Mighty Mac. You can get a single.
Yep.
We are using beef. The quality of beef has gotten better. I feel like the burgers have tasted a lot better lately.
Yeah, I've been doing little things here and there and continue to improve the business. I'm always looking for improvements in everything that we do. So it's 100% ground chuck Angus. Trying to give you guys the best product that we can. And
cheese, they're super.
I did add more cheese to the burgers as well lately. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I do want to point out that we are hiring at A Burger.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are hiring back of house, front of house. The staff members do receive tips right now, and they've been pulling in tremendous amount of tips. The average employee there, I think, is looking at around $25 an hour average right now.
Holy cow. That's tremendous.
It is humongous. Anybody that is looking for a position and wants to come join the team, we are dynamic. And as you guys know, it's not just A Burger that we operate. We operate many different businesses. So, if wherever we can place you, we'll place you somewhere.
And I always tell people that, like, if you're looking for a good job, pays well, especially in season, that May through October, you can make some good money if you're willing to work.
Right.
And right now, I mean, is the best time. You're going to work up a sweat. You're going to be in the kitchen. And you can get some delicious food.
Yeah.
I'm sure that.
Yeah, and some of our customers down at A Burger, I mean, we get slammed, and they've been extremely patient with us. I really appreciate everybody being patient with the team there because they're busting their butts, making it happen every day.
I do want to point that out. Things are taking a little bit longer. Obviously, we get some new people that are working. They might not be up to date on the ins and outs of the business. It's not just our business. It's every business. If you're used to getting in and out in a restaurant in 25, 30 minutes, please have the respect of the employees and that business. It might take 45 minutes. It could take an hour. It could be an hour 15. Things that are just a little bit behind, just be nice. Just be nice. Like, it would sound like I would go into I don't know, you're a rep for somewhere and say, oh, by the way, you're taking too long. Get me your numbers. You suck. Don't do that. Just be a nice, kind human being. Have some more patience. I understand that the boat leaves at a certain time. Plan a little bit longer. Just have respect for the employees of that business where you're walking into.
Yeah.
That's my rebuttal on that. So, Jason, anything else you'd like to get off your chest while we are here at Gallery Coffee Company inside the Jamadot Studios?
We're also, looking to hire at Tracey's in the back of house, somebody that has a passion for cooking, either in prep cooking or in line cooking. So anybody out there that would like to join the team, please reach out directly to Roam In, or you can reach out to my email at jason@roamin.com.
Okay. Is there any experience necessary? Will you train the right person?
I always say I'll take somebody with no experience and willing to do what is asked and mold somebody and teach somebody over somebody that has the experience. So no experience necessary. If you have some, great. If you don't, no problem.
Okay. I will let you answer this because in the off season, I think there could be some traction to this, but a lot of people downstate do it as well. Aaron Sears wants to know, any chance of online ordering coming to A Burger?
Not right here in the season of it. In the off season, it could be a possibility, but given the amount of volume that we go through on a daily basis, adding online would probably involve some suffrage of ticket time somewhere, and we don't want to have that happen. So
Right, and kind of the same reason why we don't do phone calls at this point,
Right.
because you just can't call an order when we got 65 people waiting for food. Scott Mitchell says, encouraging to hear A-Burger staff is doing well. So thank you. What else we got? We'll go back to the what makes you a Youper comments in just a little bit. We are going to take this time out. We are going to welcome in Maria Strand right after this break. Once again, this portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you in part by Van Landshoots and Sons. Go down there, get yourself some really good whitefish, and make sure that you ship it out to anywhere in the country that you want to go. And did you want to bring those or show those? Jason,
I think
Jason brought me a special gift before
I go, I think you need to eat one of those for all of us.
I'm going to show this. Those are probably the pickles I did not order on my chicken sandwich.
No. Come on, Casey.
It's kind of a running joke right now with the pickles and me not liking them. And Jason brings it up all the time. We're going to take this time out. When we come back, we'll talk to Maria Strand and talk about some musicians and some music in the area. You are watching Coffee with Casey on the Roam Media Facebook page, along with Roam Media on YouTube, also on SoundCloud, Spotify, and 1497.7 WQXO, and at WQXO.com.
Get yourself the freshest whitefish from the cleanest lake in the world with Van Landshoots and Sons Fish Market. With over 108 years of experience, Van Landshoots and Sons Fish Market offers whitefish, smoked fish, Van Landshoots' famous fish dip, homemade fish sausage, lobster tails, clams, and perch. You can even ship the fish as a gift. 20 pounds required. Visit vsifish.com or call Van Landshoots and Sons Fish Market 387-3851.
Tracey's Restaurant inside Roam Inn in Munising is now open 6 nights a week. Come try our new approach to dining, a small plates culinary journey you won't forget. Enjoy small plates from cheese curds to baby wedge salads to large entrees like surf and turf for two, a collection of quality beef, lobster, shrimp, and bluegill. And top off your experience with our large selection of wine, premium whiskey, and new tap featuring local craft beer. Open Monday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Call 387-8000 for reservations.
Need breakfast in a pinch? A sweet treat to help you continue through the day? What about a technically correct way to tell others you're eating your vegetables? Whatever your reason, Gallery Coffee's new selection of pastries are now available. Enjoy muffins, eclairs, fritters, and even zucchini bread, all pairing well with your favorite hot coffee or iced drink. Check out your new selection of pastries now at Gallery Coffee Company, located on the corner of Elm and Superior in downtown Munising.
Hey, did you get the new chicken Youper pasty from Miner's Pasties yet?
No, I didn't. Does it have the taters?
Yep,
Does it have the rutabaga?
of course.
Does it have the onions and the carrots?
Yep, those two. It's a true Youper pasty from Miner's with all the right fillings and that perfect flaky crust.
That sounds great. How do I get one?
The same as always down at Miner's Pasties, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 201 West Munising Avenue in Munising.
This is the Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba Munising Minute, powered by Roam Media. A state of emergency was declared for Menominee County after a fire broke out at Superior Cedar Products in Kearney. The declaration made by Governor Gretchen Whitmer will help the county receive extra emergency resources as over 100 firefighters from Menominee, Delta, and Dickinson counties fight the blaze that include piles of lumber and machinery. The cause of the fire and extent of the injuries are still unknown at this time. The Kearney fire adds to the lower air quality reports for the Upper Peninsula today. Wildfires in Canada and the western United States have caused increased smoke in the air to the point that those sensitive to smoke may be affected. Michigan residents are asked to check trees on their property this month for an invasive insect. The Michigan DNR suspects that the Asian longhorn beetle could have made it into the state of Michigan through contaminated firewood. The beetle is black with irregular white spots and black and white banded antennae. It is not native to the United States, but has been found in 20 states since first being discovered in 1996. The Munising Minute is brought to you by Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba, where the summer closeout sale ends soon. Get up to 40% off or choose up to 6 years financing. Plus, we have over 200 mattresses in stock from Ashley Sleep, Tempur-Pedic, Beauty Rest, and Serta. Local, family-owned Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. For Roam Media, I'm Bryce Burge.
The summer closeout sale ends soon at Ashley Furniture Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. Get up to 40% off or choose up to 6 years financing. Need some friendly help? Get expert design consultation from one of Ashley Home Store's interior designers. And don't forget Ashley Home Store has hundreds of mattresses in stock. The summer closeout sale ends soon. Only at your local, family-owned Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba.
Feels good to be home.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios inside Gallery Coffee Company. And we welcome in Maria Strand, who's lived up here her entire life, and she can go back to the whole what makes you a Youper poll and comment that we talked about early on in the show. Angus says, shame on you that you didn't mention that he's named after burger meat.
Nice.
Angus Horn, who's one of our floor directors and is kind of directing everything here today. I always make fun of, I don't want to say make fun of him, but I always point out that he should be working at A Burger because his name is Angus. Mm-hmm. And you understand that because you are in the food industry.
Or a farmer out in Chatham.
Yeah, right. So, yes, Angus, you are named after burger meat. And I think that's absolutely awesome. I do want to talk about this real quick of the what makes you a Youper. Scott Mitchell says that if you take a left at that tree and then another left at that tree, you should know how to get there. How accurate is that statement?
Yeah, I mean, every time I give directions, I'm like, well, go straight here, take a left, then a right, you're at my house. So that's pretty much accurate.
All right, going back to this, and we talked about what makes a Youper. Angus, bring this up in the poll, if you would, of what makes you a Youper. Because this is my start of my 14th year here in the Upper Peninsula. And depending on who you talk to, I'm not a Youper. Other people say, well, you lived up here over 10 years, you become a Youper. And then other people say, you got to be born here. And this goes back to the conversation I had while camping last weekend. And he's like, well, I moved up here in 1989. And I said, well, has that been over half your life? He said, yeah. And I said, well, that makes you a Youper according to some people I talked to. And his wife, nope, no, it doesn't. And I was like, So I think even Youpers have different, I guess, they have different views of what makes you a Youper. So, Angus, bring that up. So here's the poll. It says, birthright only, born elsewhere but lived in the Upper Peninsula for their whole entire adult lives, born elsewhere but lived more than half their life in the entire UP, 25 years UP residency or longer, married a born and raised Youper. With those definitions, what makes you a Youper?
I would go with, half your life, probably. Usually I just believe that once you start picking up the mannerisms, like, or,
You can say pasty.
Yeah, pasty. Yeah, exactly. You know how to spell it, you know how to say it, the difference between the two. And, once you start picking up the words that we kind of say, and if you smile at everybody, you're waving, you're happy all the time.
You say hi to everyone.
Yeah, we always say hi to everybody. That's, I think, what makes you a Youper. As long as you're happy up here, you're good.
Now, you come onto the show, part of the music scene and the reemergence of music here in the Upper Peninsula. And I don't want to say you played your final show before all this happens, but you did get to play at the Alger County Fair. Mm-hmm. And we didn't talk about this Father's Day weekend when Trevor was on the show, but we can talk about it now. What are you, like 7 months pregnant?
6.
6 months pregnant.
6 months. Yep.
Okay.
So, I've got 2 more shows after the fair to go, and then I'm going to go on maternity leave for musicians, I guess.
Let's talk about that. So you're back playing the music. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're 6 months pregnant. do you feel like baby kicks and things like that when you're singing? Or
I do.
okay.
Yeah. She's super active during our practices and gigs and stuff. So, you can tell she can hear the music and she likes it.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that we did a gender reveal, so I'm just
Oh,
finding
yeah.
out for the first time that
Yeah.
this is a she.
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So you have the reemergence of music. How devastating was it for this area? And I'm not just talking about Munising, but I'm talking about Alger and Marquette and not being able to go to a local venue and do your songs or play your guitar or be in your band. How devastating was that to the area, not going to see live music or live performances?
It was super rough. Right before the pandemic hit, it seemed like music was kind of getting up there. It was at its peak, and there was lots of gigs everywhere. You see bands, and even places that didn't really support local or live music, they were starting to get, bands in, and it was the full band scene. It was really nice. It was, 4 pieces and 5 pieces actually getting gigs, and it was super busy. It was really nice. I was gigging every weekend. It was great. And then the pandemic hit, and it was just like nothing. We
What's
couldn't
that
do
do
anything.
to your mentality, though? I mean, because you're used to going out and singing and getting people, and we'll get more to that in just a minute. But when you can't do there and you're forced to be at home, what do you do?
Well, I was just, in my music room, playing music online, live, Facebook Live and stuff in my pajamas. So, I mean, we took a break, and I'm like, oh, goodness, I can't do this anymore. I got to play for people, because, I mean, that's really why you do it. You want, you go out to get the reactions of the people.
What's that mean to you when you have people come out, support you, want to see you? I don't want to call groupies around this area, but you get some regulars that come out and watch you and the band perform. What's that mean to you that people want to go out and see you guys perform certain songs and perform in front of people?
That's what it's all about. That's what makes it worth doing. Going out there and seeing the same people come out, and they come and dance to your songs, and they're like, oh, do you know this one? And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But if we don't, then we'll learn it for the next gig, and they'll be there to enjoy it. So
let's see here. Let's go back to this. Julie Going says you have to definitely be born here to be a Youper. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, Julie. And Jen Morris says, congratulations, Maria.
Oh, thank
being
you.
6 months pregnant.
Thank
going
you.
back to that comment. Sometimes I'm a moody person. When I like to do things a certain way, and sometimes like I want to be like, let's say, going to a 100,000 seat stadium at Michigan. And sometimes I want to just be at my house, watch the game, nobody touch me. I preference that with musicians. Do you sometimes want to be in a band and sometimes want to do like your own thing and like acoustic things? Do you have a preference, one or the other?
Acoustic things is cool, but it's kind of lonely up there on stage if you're just there by yourself. It's really nice having your band members with you to play with you and help support your mood, because if people aren't really into it at first, then you're just kind of like, But it's acoustic was how after the pandemic, kind of let people started going out again. It's all about acoustic right now. 1 to 2 people. I don't think most of the venues can actually support a full band right now because of after the pandemic hit, it kind of killed their income and everything, So, I mean, nobody really has money to pay bands, but it's it started out acoustic after the pandemic, and it was super lonely. So it's really nice playing with a full band.
You talked about playing live on Facebook during the pandemic. How much different is that playing in front of a computer with a camera compared to seeing someone live? Because people are obviously watching you. You can see numbers watching you, but how different is that? How much different is the sound, by the way, playing in front of a computer compared to playing live?
Well, I mean, I don't really have the equipment to notice if it's, great sound or not. I just kind of play, and then afterwards I watch it again and watch the playback and see if it was good or not. So yeah, it's just kind of, it's hard because you don't get to see anybody's faces. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's, I mean, you can read the comments, but
the like emojis.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see a little heart come up
faces.
or whatever. And I'm like, okay, someone's watching. So that's good. It's definitely much better playing live.
So you are coming back and you're playing live. You're at the Alger County Fair last weekend. do you still get those goosebumps every time you hit the stage, or
Oh, yeah.
do you overthink things before, you guys go? I overthink everything all the time before I go and take the stage. But do you overthink things at all? I mean, do you just go through different scenarios in your head? What's it like life of a musician?
Yeah, well, I mean, first you need to set up and make sure everything's going to work properly. So that's really where the overthinking part comes in, is making sure all the equipment's good to go.
We have that every week here, by the way.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, after that's done, then yeah, once you get up and start playing, your first song's kind of like a warm up. You get the feel of the crowd and everything. And then, once you hear that first applause after your first song, and you're like, okay, this is good. It's going to be good. Let's do this. And, yeah, you don't really overthink it too much, unless you mess up a solo or something, you're like, oh no, but most of the people don't even realize it anyways. So.
You know it, but they
yeah,
don't.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Maria Strand joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Also on SoundCloud, on Spotify, at WQXO.com, on our Roam Media YouTube page, and on Roam Media Facebook Live right here on the Jamadot studio from Gallery Coffee Company, which they're open until 2 o'clock, Monday through Sunday, right here downtown Munising. Okay, we talked about being on stage, nervousness, things like that. What is the best performance you've ever had? In your mind, what is the best performance you've ever had? Or have you not had it yet?
I mean, there's always one that's going to top another, so it changes all the time. I think some of my best performances were probably with my all-girl band a few years ago called Bloodline, and we played down at the 4th of July down at the park. That was fun because, there's millions of people down there anyway, so
Yep.
no matter what, somebody's going to be there watching. Yeah, I think, playing like Barracuda by Heart, that's probably my favorite song to sing and play on stage. So, once we do that, it's kind of just by song.
You talk about Barracuda. Who are some of the other influencers or some of the songs that influence you and that, got to sing that one? What are some of the ones that just get you going?
Oh man. I have a wide range of songs that I like to play. So, I mean, I could start anywhere from like Motown and go up to, Fleetwood Mac, Heart, and, Lady Gaga or Katy Perry, anything. I mean, really, it's just all over the place. So it's just whichever song is going to get your foot, tapping.
Well, it's different for everybody. That's what I love about this, because like there was a poll that was recently released, and they said like 58% of the people would rather listen to 80s music than it's like 70s, 60s, and then 90s was last. My opinion, I thought 90s would have been higher because I thought there's a lot of great music that came from the 90s, and it doesn't honestly matter if it's early 90s with you had, like a Nelson Brothers, because they were late 80s, early 90s. You're getting out of the big hair and then going into Nirvana, and then you had Hole that was in there. A lot of people just like, wait, Hole, what? Yes, Courtney Love, everybody.
Yeah, right. She was in a band once.
Yeah, but Gwen Stefani had her band that she started in the 90s.
Yep.
And like I go back to like Black Hole Sun, things like that. But then you still have like the whole rap game and how that kind of changed the music industry. And it didn't matter if it was Dre or Snoop Dogg or Tupac or Digital Underground, things like that. Do you listen to stuff like that, like R&B, rap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So what mood, like really, like do you have like angry music, like I'm going to listen to this and then, hey, I really want to listen to like Two Live Crew kind of deal?
Yep.
Or where does country rate in your list?
Country is probably the lowest on my list,
Really?
honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I got to really pull some teeth to get some country songs into my my mix.
Okay, what is it about country that you don't like? Is it the old school country that, like a Buck Williams?
Not
or is it
really.
like Kenny Chesney? Like, that guy, no, he's not good.
I was
Like,
actually into Kenny Chesney. I did have
Okay.
a country phase when I was growing up in high school, so I did go through a phase for country. But no, it's just a lot of them sound the same. It's always,
I feel like
going fishing in the truck in the field. And I mean, I'm a farmer now, so I get that. But, I mean, it's the songs get kind of old after a while. You can
Well,
figure
I
out.
want to talk about that because I listen and watch a lot of podcasts, especially like mowing the lawn. I get like 6 hours to kill, so I listen to things. And Alan Jackson actually said, and we all know he's like a country music legend. He said basically country music's dead because everything sounds poppy. Like, because it doesn't, like Taylor Swift, for instance, she started out country. Well, now she's pop. Leanne Rimes was a country. Now she's more pop. And you're starting to see more like a Nelly or like a Flo Rida. I mean, Nelly, he teamed with Tim McGraw, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And they had a song. So accurate statement. I mean, do you like the traditional country? I don't know if that could actually survive in today's day and age.
Probably not. And, that might be like a music producer's fault, like their actual manager, they think that they need to get into that pop type of standpoint. But, I mean, yeah, it's country music.
It's weird.
It is weird. Yep.
I'm not saying country music's weird. I'm just saying that the crossover that's been going on for the last 20 years or so has been a little bit different than what we're used to. Okay. So, all right, let's go back. You said you got a couple more shows. I mean, how quick are these shows? And because you're kind of on a timeline here.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty much cutting it off in August. So coming up, I have, there's a music festival up in the Ishpeming area called Skankapalooza.
Yep. I know all about that.
Yep.
It's in the middle of a field.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So I'll have one band playing there, and it's just an hour-long set. So that's my side band, my side project called Banger. We'll be doing an hour-long set there, and then I have a wedding venue that I'll be playing with my full band Slapneck. August 28th. So that'll be my last gig.
Now, I know how you came up with the name Slapneck, but for those that are listening and might not be from the area, how do you come up with the name Slapneck?
Well, when we first started, I had a music project. My buddy Rich, he played the bass for me. We both live basically on the Slapneck River. So we were like, okay, well, we might as well just go with Slapneck. And, everybody in our area, it was during COVID. So pretty much the only places that were supporting an acoustic duo were, like the Village Pub or the Moon or something. So everybody there would know all about Slapneck. So we went with Slapneck, and that's just how it went.
I want to ask one final question, and I don't mean this to be on a bad thing, bad terms, but what makes a band and what breaks up a band?
It's basically dynamics between your members.
Okay.
If you can get along and there's no drama, then you're good to go. My band Bloodline, it was a little rough, having 4 chicks in a band together. You can imagine, I'm sure. If I could do it again, I definitely would. I miss playing with those girls. But yeah, it was rough. It's just as long as your members are good to go, your band will probably make it.
I know Bryce will appreciate this comment. This is the first time it's been put out there for public use, but Carol Horn has said that her and David Horn miss playing at East Channel Brewery. It is now out there that David Horn is in a band and plays music. So I would love to have David play because if you know David is he's with the Parks, the Rangers. So I don't see that side of him very often. So I think that's awesome. Like, and I want to talk about you. I mean, you'd have outside job, things like that, and you work on a farm. David Bowerman, he's a drummer, runs Gallery Coffee Company. Yep. Rod Gendron, he's a teacher, and he's in a band. He actually just played down with Parks and Rec at the concert in the park with the Wayouts the other day. I think it's so cool that so many people you just wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Band.
Yep, exactly.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you with everything that goes on. Last 2 gigs, obviously the pregnancy.
Thank
Hope
you.
all goes well with her. Do we have a name yet? Not yet?
Melody Jane. I wanted to try to start her off with a rock star name, just in case she wanted to go in that direction.
Okay. Liz says that she has video of Carol singing with Brian Vander Ark. Yes, and Brian actually played right here on the stage.
Oh, nice.
Maria, thank you for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take this final timeout, come back, finish the show right after this. You've been watching Coffee with Casey on Roam Media Facebook page and on YouTube. Also listening on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, SoundCloud, and on Spotify.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber because 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. and 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
As you're on your way out of town this camping season, make sure to stop at Hillside Party Store East. We have all your camping gear. We also sell live bait, fire starters, and boiled peanuts. Hillside Party Store East is also your home for Case Country Farms, including bacons, brats, brat dogs, breakfast sausage, chorizo, Italian, pork chops, pork steaks, and ham steaks. Hillside Party Store East, located between Connors and Hilltop Road.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the Payment Protection Program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Thinking about upgrading the bedroom carpet or the floor in your home? Now is the perfect time to get a quote from Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore. Flynn's Flooring is locally owned to give you the personal attention you deserve, from carpet to hardwood, or maybe even a vinyl or tile floor. Flynn's Flooring will sit down and go over options with you. So, what are you waiting for? Call and set up an appointment with Flynn's Flooring today at 387-1993.
All you need is love and a walking taco from Tacopotamus. Javier is on a mission to fill up your belly and your heart with a giant bag of Doritos or Fritos filled with fresh ingredients, including beef, 3 different cheeses, lettuce, cilantro, jalapenos, pico, and sour cream, all totally customizable. The perfect on-the-go food. Walk away with a walking taco from Tacopotamus today. And remember, all you need is love and walking tacos.
Back on Coffee with Casey, final 4.5 minutes or so right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. I do want to point this out at Roam Media on Facebook page. We are getting a lot of traction with things that this man to my right has been producing. I wish we would have fixed that camera, but it's okay because it's cutting off your head. We'll use the 2-shot. But Bryce Burge has been doing a great job, great journalistic stuff with Roam Media. And I know people have been paying attention to us from other places outside the Upper Peninsula and getting us some traction as well. But Bryce was the first one to break this story about the distributors that happened, what was that, Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't even remember. Days has kind of run together for me.
Yeah.
I know they run together for you as well, but you were the first one that actually had this distribution story. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a couple of really interesting aspects of that kind of come in with like both the journalistic ethics and with the other stuff that kind of goes on. This is a very complicated story and something that is not typically within the wheelhouse of a place with a newsroom of 2. This is purposely not covered by people with the newsroom of 2. So, and you're looking at the newsroom. So,
right.
But in this case, it was crucial that we covered it because of the impact that it was going to have on the local area. One of the things that kind of brought up differently than, like, let's say the way that TV6 covered it or nobody else covered it kind of deal. But looking at some of the other newspapers and places around the country that are dealing with distribution shortages in one way or the other, and people have tons of different reasons for it. There's lots of it's a very polarizing aspect, and it's been a long time. I don't think as an adult I've seen a situation with the politics involved, literally politics with like unemployment values and everything else like that, that is getting so many people angry or upset about something that is almost a fiscal aspect. But one thing that we know up here is that Alger County was pretty lucky with the pandemic in terms of, not getting COVID. But I mean, I was one of the people, there were stories about, there was a while there where people trying to enforce mask mandates were actually getting physically assaulted and verbally assaulted more than we had hospitalizations in this county at one time. And a lot of them didn't want to report because they felt that they were going to get in trouble. Dealing with an issue like Cisco, we independently verify that entire story. None of the information that we posted in any of that story came from a Roam business. And I'm proud of that because it showcases the separation between us as the media group and other sister corporations and stuff like that. And that doesn't always have to be the case, but when dealing with something serious, you probably should, just for the ethical aspects. But because of that, there's a number of other moving pieces in play. There's been a lot of comments that some of them are justified, some of them are not justified. Some of them are based on extra information that can't be verified, or verified in a way that would either out of source or potentially be taken the wrong way, where it could be viewed as intimidation and stuff like that. Because things are happening in Wisconsin, you also have interstate commerce issues, and so like this is one of a very complex.
A lot of moving parts.
Lots of moving parts, lots of legal issues that are kind of going in with it. But we ran the story because we wanted to make sure that people weren't going to be absolutely shredded by somebody that was not understanding the situation. If you've got people that are working their tails off and you want to be upset to them about somebody else not working, then that's not a good situation. And it absolutely it tanks your online numbers. Amy Nolan said that in her story. It absolutely destroys you when it comes to the people that are working, and slows down your wait times and everything else because you have to deal with complaints. You start seeing it through social media where you have people just dropping F-bombs in messages. And here I am trying to deal with that at the same time as covering the Munising Township meeting the other night. So like, as these overlaps come up, we ran that story not because we wanted to go out and highlight the problems with a food distributor or, pick on somebody when we're down or when they're down. We wanted to run that story because we felt that it was crucial for people to understand as they come to Munising and they come to Alger County and they know that there's going to be some problems with what the menu is. And that way, because we know about it, we can celebrate what these people are doing. The managers, the staffs, the individual workers that are coming up with ideas to help streamline things, fix their menus, supplement in different ways, be creative. Those are the kind of positive aspects that have shown the resilience of Alger County that cannot happen unless you understand enough of the backstory about that. Yes, one of the biggest 3 food distributors basically pulled out everywhere that didn't have a government contract. That was pretty much what happened. And so it's a very big deal for what happens here, to make sure that, a small newsroom of 2 is making sure that they're representing and servicing the public that we deal with here at Roam Media.
And it wasn't just that story, but the planes flying around Alger County, Western Alger County, that's performing really well. There was another one. You had like 3 that were just huge this week. What was the other one? Danny Graves getting.
Oh yeah. Coaching is always good and always positive, and we can look at the stats with stuff like that. But really, you're never going to get another press in the UP, and based on Michigan laws, you are shot. I mean, let's just put it this way: the Michigan laws regarding public posting notices and legal protections for individuals that are working as the press are old enough to actually qualify as a Youper. So that just shows how outdated, irrelevant, and borderline dangerous that it is for people like us that are trying to give the facts to people. Like, I mean, we have a story right now where I'm a little scared to run it because Google could come after us, even though it's true and we can prove it and everything else. I don't necessarily want to run it so that way Google doesn't get angry with us. So the
less I know, the better, because I have no idea what's going on right now.
Well, just to let you know, M28 is wide open.
Yeah.
So don't go up St. Martin's Hill and go down a 2-track with your trailer behind it. That's not a good idea.
Debbie says, good job, Roam Newsroom, which I know Bryce gives me some of the credit, but for the most part, it's like 95% him, with me having accidental conversations that can turn into news stories on some other things. But Bryce does a great job with the news and getting out that stuff. And he does go to school board meetings and he does go to city commission meetings. And it's just not in Munising. You're going to Limestone and you've been to Chatham. And I mean, you even served on a couple of boards. So, I mean, Bryce does a great job finding the news and making sure that it's reported accurately and not slanted. That's the one thing that we are proud of. Like, we don't try to slant it one way or another. So thank you for all your hard work. And honestly, all the shares and the follows that your work has created for our newsroom of two.
It's for the people. We don't have enough people in Alger County to have any stupidity flying around. Everybody's got to be on the ball and all hands on deck kind of scenario. So that's what we're fighting for.
Like to thank Jason Biega coming in and showing us the new fries from A Burger. Also talking about the Great Lakes chips as their expansion, which you had a news story on as well. Like to thank Maria Strand for coming in and Bryce Burge for finishing off the show. You've been watching Coffee with Casey on Roam Media Live on Facebook. Also, you've been watching on YouTube, listening on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, and at WQXO.com, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon. You've been listening to WQXO Munising.